You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We are live from the Ordinal Hour, and it's going to be absolutely amazing today. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to go over. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff. We're going to get into tomorrow's a big deal. We have the jobless claims, which I think is very underestimated. I think that is going to be bad tomorrow. I really think that. And then we got CPI tomorrow, and then Friday we have PPI. Those data points are really going to propel Bitcoin, in my opinion, to new levels. I think we get back into 60,000s tomorrow and potentially 70,000 again within the next couple of weeks. I truly believe that. And I just think that, there's only so much more that Germany can sell, right? There's only so much more the Mt. Gox FUD can really, drop price. It's just not going to happen. And we're going to get into that. We got a lot of stuff here. We got some stuff with Xverse. Bitmap, we're getting some Bitmap stuff. So if you're a Bitmap holder, that's gonna be a good one. And then Alex Labs, we're gonna get into some stack stuff. So let's get the thing started. Without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? So yesterday was absolutely insane. On Twitter, we had over 3,100 people at one time. It was pretty crazy. We had a lot of names. We weren't able to do the wheel yesterday, but we will be doing the wheel today. What was your basic overview of yesterday, and why did it get so crazy?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that popped in my head was that this TAP community is really strong. Large community that supports the builders in the TAP ecosystem. So it just made me really bullish on what's to come. I can't wait till that marketplace drops. I can't wait till they release more of these new features and functionalities like promises and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely got me excited
for sure. And so we are giving away a TAP validator today. There were no new entries, but these are all the entries right here on this wheel, and we're going to be spinning this right after roll call. So we have a bunch of Bitcoin topics, then we get in the roll call. So tune in for that in a little bit.
Yep.
All right, let's kind of get into it here. And of course, the wheel is not letting me grab the topic. Okay, here we go. All right, so I said it in the intro, but I'll say it again. Economic data release, initial jobless claims tomorrow, and consumer price index, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Really, really big for the entire macro environment as well, not just crypto. This is going to be some big data points. Tomorrow and Friday are going to be big. I think tomorrow is going to be the biggest of the two because it's jobless claims. And if we get another, unexpected initial jobless claims, that's going to be pretty bad. But the CPI, I think we get 2.99. I think they're going to push it in the twos.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin started to heat up overnight and touched 59,000. And I was pretty shocked to see that. This morning it did dip back below, and I think right now sitting at like 57.5. So I might be able to hit my Friday target of 58.5, 59,000.
Yeah.
If it keeps chopping back a little bit. And then I might actually undershoot if tomorrow's data gets people bullish, right? The jobless claims is just something kind of like a check off on the list for people that want the Fed to cut rates. And so that part seems to be covered. We'll see what happens tomorrow with that. But the CPI, when you have both of those in the favor of cutting rates, like what else can they do, right? Because they can't really, have any other excuses at this point. So it'll be very interesting to see what Jerome Powell comes up with.
100%. So Mike Alfred, he's a huge Bitcoiner. He's a CPI print leaked. That's why we popped up last night on speculation. But he says we're coming in under expectation at least 0.1%, which right now I think expectation is 3.1%. So he's saying we're going to hit the 3, and that's why I'm saying we're going to hit 2.99. I think it's just going to be manipulated just a little to show the two there, and that was the Fed technically beat inflation at that point. We've always been in the twos between 2.1 and 2.7 is kind of where we sat most of the last 25 years. So if we can get close to that number, they beat inflation technically. Obviously, we know shrinkflation, and we obviously know these numbers are highly manipulated. But if they're counting on these numbers, then they beat inflation.
Yeah, but does that count as 2%?
It doesn't.
2.99. It is psychological to see that number 2.
It is.
It is. It's just kind of like when Bitcoin crosses over like a large milestone number, right? Like 60,000 is kind of that next one where we're looking for to go back over. So I agree with you. I think it definitely makes an effect if we do get that 2 number in the front there.
Yeah. All right, this is pretty big. So as Germany is selling, the ETFs are buying, which makes me think that the German government themselves are selling this, and then the people that are doing this are actually the ones buying it up, because the ETF is up, $121 million of inflows yesterday. It was almost the exact number of the sell-off.
Yeah. Do you think there's like a bunch of countries that have confiscated Bitcoin, and there's like this wheel that they spin, and they're like, okay, whoever gets picked has to sell their Bitcoin down to bring the prices down, so all of us rich 1%ers can make money here? I mean, it does make you scratch your head. Germany's obviously, the leaders there, they're smart people, even if you don't agree with their policies and stuff. But this makes you scratch your head and say, why are smart people making this kind of decision? And it, you can put your tinfoil hat on and say, oh, it's because they want everything cheaper. But I think there's a lot of, whenever there's consistent like events happening for you to constantly have a tinfoil hat, there's gotta be some truth behind that, right? So
I think the meeting yesterday with NATO was yesterday, and Biden announced that they'll be giving all these air defense to Ukraine, and it's U.S., Germany, and I want to say Poland, the 3 countries that are paying for this. They got to figure out a way to pay for it, and 2 of the 3 countries are the ones that are selling Bitcoin. So I feel like they need to figure out a way for this money to come from, to where it's not coming from the taxpayers and sitting with Bitcoin there. I think that's how it's getting paid for. And I think that's why the U.S. is selling, and I think that's why Germany's. The money has to come from somewhere, and if they go to the Fed or something, they have to get something passed. But if it comes from money that is being sold for Bitcoin, I believe, and I'm not no economist, but I believe that money's easily can be pushed into something like air defense for Ukraine. So I think that's where it's going.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? So it just seems to be like where a lot of these stories and narratives and stuff you can easily mold into a narrative, right? And I mean, those 3 countries are in NATO, right? So
yep. All right, moving here. The city of Santa Monica, California, opens a Bitcoin office to explore BTC educations for its residents. So this is something that's pretty big. I'm not too familiar with Santa Monica, California. I know they are a beach city. I know they have amazing boardwalks and stuff like that. But are they Republican, or are they Democrat there as well?
No, I mean like that. Well, I mean that's like the greater Los Angeles area, right? So
Yeah.
I will say it is one of my more favorite like piers and beach front, I
Yeah.
guess, like little cities to go to whenever I do go there. But I will say this, like I don't agree with 99.8%, 9% of anything Gavin Newsom says. But one thing I have heard is that he is, open-minded to crypto. And I think that would be a huge benefit to him and his state if he does start being Bitcoin friendly.
Yep.
Right. And it could fix a lot of things in terms of like just perception for one of the state of California.
Yep.
I'm not going to get too deep into politics here, but I just think it's good, right? Because I think that that's something that could slowly be like a first step in the right direction. And then the education part is really, really cool. BTC education for its residents, right? They're kind of opening the playbook of El Salvador here. But I think this is a huge plus for the state of California if they do this, and I told my wife I'd never move there because, born and raised, or not born, but raised in Texas. And so just too different. But at the same time, I'd like to go visit nice weather and stuff.
Yeah. I just saw here that like the average home in Santa Monica is like over $500,000. So I'm guessing it's a very rich area. So
oh yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that; it's just real estate over there in general.
Yeah.
You'll find like a 1,800 square foot house that's beat up from the like bad for 300 and up, 350,000.
Yeah.
That like you wouldn't ever dare live in if you were in like Arizona, Texas, Florida, or whatever, right? And so it's just so much more expensive. So it's good to educate the residents on Bitcoin because I think that can help them, get ahead.
Yep. I'm moving here. So this is really nothing to do with crypto, but I think it does in the long run. Elon gets another money transmitter license in Washington, D.C. They're 31st in total. This brings us a step closer to sweeping changes to X. So I looked into this a little bit more. 31 states out of the 51 states have agreed to give X a license. And it's looking like it's just the Democratic states who are not in yet. So California and New York are the two that are pushing against this. Of course, they push against anything that's beneficial or innovative. And it's looking like all the Republican states are in already. So he's got to push a little bit further. Pennsylvania is in as well, which I looked obviously because I'm in Pennsylvania, but we are a swing state. So that just shows me right there that at least we're being a little bit progressive here.
Yeah, and it's so crazy you say progressive, but it's like progressive towards the majority are conservatives that are in on this. But I think this eventually happens, right? I think this is definitely more of it's like gotten to like a personal level of like Elon, he's behind X and all that stuff. But this is great. I mean, I think that X is going to be the platform of the future for especially people that are involved in our industry, right?
Yeah.
So if you were a content creator and you're streaming early, these are the early days of streaming on X, and I think it could pay off big time down the road. Right. So I'm so glad that we got into it early. And I mean, obviously that you have to work hard as well. You can't just wing it and stuff. So I think this could be a big opportunity for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, this opens up a lot of, area for content creators, right? Elon wants to bring as much streaming as possible. And if you are a content creator, or if you never thought about it, it could be a way to get in there. You know what I mean? And I think that, having actual ordinal guys, getting into this, the streaming aspect on Twitter could be really good for ordinals in general. So if you think about making content, I mean, me and Yagobi are just regular guys, right? We're not journalists. We're not, we have no media experience. We just love crypto and fell in love with ordinals. So we started the podcast, and I feel like anyone can do it. Really, seriously, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I used to be a CNC machinist. Like I don't know nothing about this stuff, but I enjoy it. And then if you guys enjoy watching it, screw it, let's do it. So I highly recommend anyone who's interested in grabbing a camera and a mic.
Yeah. And some of the things that I think we both researched on this topic about the money remitters license and what that means, right? We're talking about being able to receive tips directly on X, being able to receive payments directly on X, being able to have marketplaces directly on X. So this is something that can really take X to a place that people probably never expected it could get to, say, 5 years ago, right? Because Twitter was pretty straightforward of what it offered from a product level, which was something big. And a lot of times it was for people that were more in the limelight, more of a celebrity status or a large account status. But now what this does is it opens doors and opportunities for the everyday person, right? Like if you can get big from just like maybe you have like an X store down the road, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of virtual like NFT or digital artifact like digital virtual conventions and stuff where people are just have their portfolios and are able to sell to each other and stuff and present what they have. So that collectability, it can increase the collectability industry over here in digital artifacts, which is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think eventually like that Twitter's going to be kind of like almost like, hate to say this, but like almost like a MySpace where you're gonna be able to like you see like my page, but you'll be able to click it and go to like a second page, and you can see all my videos. Maybe you can see like everything that I'm selling, whether that be from sneakers to ordinals, right? And then have a wallet connection where I can connect my wallet and then I can buy things easily, whether that be an Xverse, whether that be a MetaMask or anything really. I mean, they can really put in any wallet that potentially pays them to do so, because that would be another ways to make money. And I'm sure Xverse, I'm sure MetaMask would, give them as much money as they wanted to, just to be able to connect there because it's usage, right? So
yeah, and this is where I think mainstream could come in, right?
Yeah.
Mainstream business, mainstream. You already have TradFi, dipping their toes in with these ETF. I wouldn't even say dipping their toes in; they're in, with the ETFs. There was actually Bitcoin Magazine dropped this headline right now. It says Goldman Sachs Matthew McDermott says spot Bitcoin ETFs launching was a renewed momentum in crypto, right? So what happens once these large corporations, TradFi, financial institutions accepted that the internet was here in the early 2000s? Because at first they didn't. They were like, okay, well, we don't know. Once they accepted, that's whenever you got all the initial like kind of scammy websites. Pets.com didn't make it. Some of those early ones, right? And then you got the Amazons, you got the Googles, you got the big, and then these corporations started saying, okay, let's start building businesses within this industry. And I think that's what happens, right? And X being able to do this money remitters license, that opens up like tons of confidence, right? Because now you're talking about regulation has to come in some sense and protect consumers. And they see that as money-making opportunities because once you build trust up, that's when the masses come.
Yep. I agree. Yep, this is big. This is going to be huge. I'm just so glad Elon's running this and not like some anti-crypto people, because it could have went the other way. So that's pretty big.
And people that are building, real quick, the last thing I'll say, people are building in the Bitcoin ecosystem that has even like a somewhat of a traditional Web 2 mindset and model, that could work. It could work. It could transition over because we're coming into a new era, right? So I'm excited to see. I would be, if I was an investor from the outside, I'd be very intrigued and interested in who's building in our ecosystem first, because Bitcoin is the standard. So we'll see.
Abdul United says ordinals, please. Dude, this is big for ordinals. Like, I don't think you understand like how big is it going to be to list your Quantum Cat on Twitter. Imagine listing your Quantum Cat like right as you post and seeing 4,000 or 5,000 people saying, hey, like that one looks cool, I want to buy it. This is actually the biggest thing for ordinals and NFTs like out there right now, and then this is a big deal.
Even marketplaces too, right? So marketplaces that jump on this opportunity, right? Let's say that like there's a brand that has a lot of trust already, and then they work with X in their team and say, hey, we want to do like an integration to where, or they just partner with it, tell everybody on X, hey, list through us, but like you can have it under your profile or something. I can see a lot of businesses coming out of this, right? And so it might not be Magic Eden, it might not be Unisat, it could be somebody that's new that's building right now in Ordinals. And but the power of social media has never been directly and tied into something like this. And for this could actually end up like really doing well for builders in our space.
Yep, I agree. Moving on here. So Germany now is only left $1 billion left in Bitcoin. So they had about 4 to 5, I think, maybe more than that. And then so it's selling down. So I think, they're just about done, and which is perfect timing for the CPI tomorrow. So I think the entire Ordinals ecosystem, for just my man Abdul United, can get happy. The entire Ordinal ecosystem is going to explode because of Bitcoin going up. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to talk about Bitcoin too. Like that makes everything spark, right? Like that's the spark that gets us going. You
And it's a
know,
down market right now. Like, if you want me to talk about, you want to talk about everything that's red right now. And like, come on, man.
well, I will say
All
that the Ordinal collection side, there's a lot of green there, but we'll get to that when we
Yeah.
get to the update here.
For sure. Bitcoin Fear and Greed. We'll hit on this real quick, so Abdul don't get mad. It's at 28 right now. So yesterday it was a 27. Last week it was a 50. Last month it was a 72. This is kind of sitting flat here, and I'm gonna put in a bet here. If you want to take this, I think we're gonna be in the 40s tomorrow. So tomorrow at so obviously it takes 12 hours. So it's every UTC 000, which is 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. I think by Friday we'll be in the 40s again.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. That's possible. I'll take the bet against it just to make it fun.
I bet you a bitmap. Let's go.
Bitmap. I mean, those are cheap. So right now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that going from 28 to 40, even with like a pump up, let's say we get to like 59, I think that's a coin flip in my opinion, right? You could hit 48, you could hit 45, 48 and 50 to me is the same thing with that gauge, right?
Well, I think Bitcoin's back in the 60s tomorrow. I think this is the last time we see 59. The cycle. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna enter a loosening. Like right now we're in a tightening era, right? Where the Fed is people don't really realize that the Fed is still selling bonds right now. They're going to get to a point where they're buying bonds. And what that's going to do is that's going to create liquidity for people that want to sell the bonds. They can actually get out of them pretty quickly, and that's going to bring in more liquidity into the risk on sector.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be great. This is the last time we see 59, but Abdul followed up with, I'm still naming my kid Shizzy when Bitcoin hits 700K. Which would totally suck, because what if it doesn't hit it until next cycle and your kid's already born and he has another name and you're like, sorry, son, I promised I was going to name you Shizzy after it hits 700K. So we're changing your name legally to Shizzy.
Yeah, we love you, Abdul. We're just joking with you, buddy. All right, let's kind of get into the Bitcoin price action here. We'll kind of see where the big king is doing, and that because guys, nothing go until the king raises his hand and says go. Nothing happens here in Ordinals, right? So we got to figure out. Seriously, that's kind of what it is. Like if Bitcoin's not in the 60s, Ordinals isn't doing anything.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so it looks like a little green candle's trying to form here, but this morning I would say, what time was this? This was showing 3 days ago. Geez. So when did this dump? Because it pumped. Oh, right here. This is where it pumped. Okay, last night. Yeah, so we were sitting right here last night at 7 p.m. at 57,576. So a little bit lower than where we are now. And then this amazing run up happened. We got all the way to 59. Dude, we wicked to 59.4. So I was like, wow, we're close to 60,000. I remember waking up because my dog, I told you, woke me up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you saw this big dump. So this is where I think like that maybe the leak happened and some people started pumping it, and then we just saw this really bearish engulfing pattern here. But now it looks like they're trying to reverse this. So initially, I was saying this, thinking that this bearish engulfing red consistent candles were going to overtake it, possibly get down to low 57,000s, high 56,000s. We'll still have to see if that happens. This could be a reversal happening right now, though. But we've been kind of overbought, dipping to the middle of the stochastic RSI, never really getting to that 20-point area on the 1 hour chart for the past couple of days. So I don't know if we're due for a more sell down, but that's what I initially thought. We'll see what happens here for the rest of the day, though. If I were to bet, I would say probably still bleed out a little bit further, just because this engulfing bearish red candle pattern seemed really strong. So that's for the rest of the day today. And then for the 4 hour, we have been hanging up here and overbought, just barely touching back into that 80-point mark. So we could be heading back down. Now, the buy pressure on the MACD is still pretty, the candles are pretty decent size. The blue and red lines haven't really, they just started trying to head towards each other. So this is where we might see that M pattern form here on the 4 hour. If that's the case, then, Thursday might see, lower Thursday and Friday. I might be off on my target on Friday, but so that's for the next 2 days, and then the 12-hour chart, which is the next week and a half, 2 weeks. This is looking good. Just arrived into the overbought here, past the 80-point mark, and the buy pressure looks pretty good, pretty strong here on the MACD. The blue and red lines on the MACD look pretty separated here, so I think we could hang out up here for a little bit longer, maybe pop back up. So that would be perfect timing, like I said, for heading into Bitcoin conference, right?
Yeah,
I do think a lot of that nastiness has been, is behind us. But Bitcoin never surprises me anymore. It's we could see some sell down still, but I doubt it, man. I don't know. I have a feeling that we're kind of getting out of the quicksand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone knows what year we're in, right? Everyone knows that the halving was, 100 days, 150 days. It was April 19th. So we're about to enter a crypto bull cycle, which we're going to get a crypto-friendly president. Operation Chokehold did happen. People are still having problems with banking and stuff like that. So I think we're about to enter. Next year is going to be a very crypto-friendly, United States. There is some countries out there that are very crypto-friendly now, but the U.S., I believe, is really going to push things forward with crypto. You're seeing that in every part of the Congress, right? That all the Republicans at least, and potentially Republicans.
Some of the Democrats,
I'm very bullish.
Some of the Democrats. Eventually, it will happen. But right, I forgot to say it. If you guys are on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us. It does more than you think, and make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you can get notifications when we go live every day.
Yep.
On the Twitter side, please share this space, guys. You guys have been killing it for us. We thank you so much for all that. But yeah,
yep. And we're gonna knock out roll call, and then we're gonna jump to the wheel here. So just be a little bit more patient. We're almost there, and we're giving away a tap validator. So obviously, it's too late to put your entry in now. We took the entry from yesterday. We weren't able to get all the. We want to make sure all the names were correct. That's why we didn't do it at the end of the show yesterday. But we're gonna do it in about 5 minutes. So, all right, we'll jump into the roll call. Kind of see who's here. Let's see. We got our guy Tim Baker, one of our mods, number one. Congratulations, Tim. You win today.
Tim.
He says, "Let's get it." Followed by Crypto Noob in that second spot. Thank you so much for being here. Chief Axel is here. Our boy Danny Boy, another one of our mods. We appreciate you, Danny. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Poo. He says, "I got my popcorn. Let's effing go." And we got Cash Cats in the building. Bring in the coffee and the donuts. He never forgets it for us. That's huge for us, man. Thank you so much, my friend. Our guy Yasher, man, he helps us out so much. He really does a good job with our research and development page on Telegram. Thank you so much, Yasher. Always want to thank you for that, man. PJNZ is here. He says, "Morning, y'all." New member, Mighty Sonu. Thank you so much for becoming a member, man. Now you can go check out our portfolios. We're taking 5K and turning it into 100K. Quick update on that. We checked it this morning, and we're about break even now.
We're starting to get back on track. We're starting to get back on track after the blood fest.
So we're going to be doing a members video within the next couple of days. So if you are a member, you'll be able to see that. We're taking 5K to 100K, and it's fun. So we're fully allocated now. We cannot add any more money. We have the whole $5,000 in there. So now where it gets fun.
Yep.
Yasher says, smash that like button. Please do that. Our boy No is here. Let's go, No. Let's see. I Walk Alone is here. It says, GM fam, let's do what we do. Smash the like button and share everything. We had a record-breaking show yesterday. Let's do it again. Let's go. I Walk Alone and Mr. Sheedy, two of our long-term followers here. We love you guys. Joko is here. Sharma, he says, waiting. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's your first time here. Thank you so much.
Keep waiting. Be patient, because we all know what's going to happen.
Our boy Rick G says, long live BRC20. Smash that like. Shout out to Rick G.
Let's go, Rick G in the weekly top 40. I feel like he's a DJ somewhere.
Ordinal Tweets is here. Dream Baked is here. BitRens is here. Chain Watcher, Ant-Man, Reziak, KDN, Amir Daywood. You've been here all week, man. Thank you so much. Mauricio, I said your name right this time.
Yes,
I've been working on it. It takes me weeks, but I get it.
Mauricio.
I was calling Yagobi all kinds of crap when I first met him, so it took me a few episodes to get that down. And then I had to make a beginning just so I remembered it. That's where Mr. Yagobi came from. It helped me memorize it. Green Man is here. Pelpa is here. Francisco Jose, thank you so much for being here. Carlos CLS is here. D Love, Mats is here. Abdul United, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Lucky Lukey. Let's see, Peter Dell is here. I think it's your first time here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go. We'll definitely get to your question, Peter, in the second half of the show. We'll definitely get to that though. Promise. Let's see. I want to miss one more. We got Pilco is here. I think it's your first time here. Thank you so much. Mats is here. Yeah, Mats, I got you on there, buddy. Don't worry. You were there yesterday. Abigail is here. Zeparisi is here. Thank you so much for making roll call. We appreciate you. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Zeparisi. It's Italian. Italiano.
It's so funny. It's like we turn every like longer name into like Italian.
Pantalones. Sixes is here. Kai Effect. I got Kai's in the building. Lucho is here. And then Peter Zangone. Is this the same Peter? I don't know. Let's call you again. What's up, Peter? And we got Pilco again. But thank you guys. He's from Australia, guys. We got guys in here from Australia late at night. Shizzy got my name right. Bear market is over, boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
Mauricio.
That's the indicator right there.
I've been practicing, bro. All right. Let's kind of get into it. We're going to get into the wheel, guys. So if you were here yesterday, I had everyone put their Twitter handles in. It's too late now, so please don't put Twitter handles in now. Well, you can. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get added to the wheel. So we're going to give this wheel a spin. I got all the names here. So you guys are all added. We got over 100 names here. So we're going to spin this thing. A lot of pressure on this, man. It's giving away track validator worth 500 tracks. So this is not a round one. So you will not be getting it in this round. You'll be receiving it in the second round, but I will make sure that you do get it. It might be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I promise you will receive it depending on who wins here. So
good luck, everybody.
Should I push the button?
All right. I mean,
George pushed the button.
Right?
Let's go.
Man, this is a big one. Don't announce any names until it's completely stopped.
All right. Pelpa! Let's go!
Pelpa,
congratulations!
Congrats, Pelpa. Man, that's huge.
Yeah, man, guys, I'm gonna leave it up there for a bit. Congratulations to you. You have it written down? Well, yeah, I got it. Well, we know Pelpa.
Yeah, Pelpa. Actually, and then also, I'm gonna reach out to. I reached out to Kai Effect for last week's the Hive passes. So I've been trying to get y'all's addresses. So I'll get it before the end of the show. But there's a couple that are not correct for the usernames. But I'll reach out to them separately.
Pelpa goes, let's effing go! Congratulations, you deserve it, my friend. Huge, definitely is. Thank you for always being here, Pelpa. You're a real one, buddy. All right, we'll get into Abdul United. He wants us to get into some Ordinal stuff, so let's do that. So this is something that dropped yesterday. The Ordinals, the Unitab wallet. It's been out for a few days, but we don't touch anything until it's on Google Chrome. It's just kind of one of our rules. We did some stuff before, and it's just too worrisome. We will make sure that everything is good. And the Unitab wallet is out. You downloaded it. I downloaded it as well. What's your opinion?
So aesthetically, it looks great. It looks great. I love how they customized it to their look. The front end developer that just changed the font and everything, did an amazing job on it. Obviously, they had to integrate the tap reader, indexer to it and stuff like that. The one thing that I wish that they did, but I understand why they didn't do it, but they didn't integrate the DMT UNAT stuff yet. Yeah. And I think that's because they don't want to deal with the transferring of reindexing. You've dealt with that already, right? Yeah. The one thing I wanted, so this is about Unitab's wallet, right? And we'll make it mainly focused on that. But one thing I do want to give props to the Tap Wallet and Explorer guys is that they did integrate that in. And even though they knew that there was a transfer issue with the DMT UNAT stuff, they said, we're going to create the indexer for that until, Benny upgrades the tap reader to where that issue is fixed. So, either way, I like the way this looks. I feel like, it does take it is a little bit low, slow to load up, but I love seeing my tap balances. That was the main reason why I downloaded it because my tap stuff was on in a Unisat wallet. So I just put the words in. It was really simple. But yeah, I like how it looks. The functionality so far good. I just wish they had the UNAT stuff.
This being Unisat, I don't think the minus tap still isn't working for this, right?
Yeah, I would not I would not like do anything with that on here until they announce that, like, because the tap reader should be able to the tap reader is fine with that. I think it's the wallets, so they have to customize their wallets to be able to protect your cursed inscriptions, right? And so for that, I think that's where the issue would be. Rare sats too.
So if you guys haven't downloaded it, this is the wild. I'll give you guys a quick overview. Obviously, you have the wild here. You have NFTs, which I don't like. I think you got to change that to ordinals, right? Even the tap stuff is still ordinals, right? So this
yeah, in a sense, I guess.
Well, I guess it's considered non-fungible tokens, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, other people, like, I know, like, Atomicals did. Now Atomicals is different though, because it's like totally different storage place. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, whatever you want to name it on those other meta protocols.
BRC 20s and runes. I was airdropped 1,000 epic, so that was cool. I wasn't expecting. And then they have the star here. It's kind of like their like little thing here for their website. You can kind of participate now in the Unitap pass. I actually got one yesterday. I got lucky enough to get whitelisted, so that was cool. I did have to pay it was expensive, dude. I think I paid like $200, $300.
What? So what was that for? So that was the whitelist cost, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, no. I mean, that's how much it. I mean, it's their crowdfunding, right? So,
gotcha.
But it's going to a good cause, I hope. So it's building tap infrastructure. So I was like, whatever, I'll spend it. See, it's a live net, password, advanced, and all that stuff right there. So, yep, that is that. And then we're gonna jump to the other wallet here. We'll go here, just jump to the tap wallet. Kind of give you a view of this one's kind of yeah, so I'm going to bring my screen down real quick so I can put my password in here.
So one thing real quick, like right when you brought that tap wallet and Explorer down, it still kind of has a little bit of that Unisat feel aesthetically, like with that bottom. So they focus more on back end, in my opinion, and Unitap focus more on front end, right? And so it's really, I think aesthetics matter, but at the end of the day, the UI is going to win out. So curious on what your thoughts are.
So this is the one part that I like, that they have this all indexed, and maybe Unitap will too, right? You can't say, but these have this index right here where I can see my
your royals.
The royals, that's what they're called. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. My Nat Cat, my Nat Frog, and my royals. So, and they look phenomenal in this wallet. So this is one reason why I like this wallet. And so this is the same wallet address for both wallets. I just put these words in that one to kind of see the differences between the two. And it's cool. But like that one, as you can see, it has more options. This is just kind of like sub options, right? This looks exactly like Unisat, like almost to the exact. But they added these features down here, which I honestly think it's more important to have this instead of sleek wallet.
Well, the biggest part is the display of the UNATs, right? Because regular Unisat wallet, you can't see that. Right. Yeah. But you can see it here because they built it. And I think that the thing about this team, they have their strengths are very strong. Some of their weaknesses, marketing, that kind of thing, right? Front end a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, who cares if you can see your like UNATs and DMT stuff and stuff like that? That's awesome. But more than anything, I think the audience that are tap ecosystem community people should be very happy and bullish because there's two wallets right now. And I know I keep emphasizing that. They're probably like, Yagobi keeps bringing up two wallets. It's because any other meta protocol ecosystem never got further than one wallet. Yeah. Right. I mean, like you have Atomicals with Wiz wallet, and then you have Unisat and everything else. And then with Tap, you have two to start out with. We don't know if there's going to be another one, or let's say some of these other bigger wallets adopt that standard. Right, which I think if Tap gets big enough that they're going to have to. So this is really big, and this is big not only for Tap but for the multi-meta protocol thesis or theory. Because Tap could push the envelope and make some of these big wallets adopt them forcefully, because they're going to say that, damn, there's so much volume over there. We can't miss out on that. You know what I mean? So it can be very interesting the next 3 to 6 months to see how all of this plays out, because this is big for the Tap ecosystem.
So one thing that like I'm a little concerned about with like these wallets and is if Benny and the team from Tap, who are building this amazing marketplace, integrate these wallets, right? Will they integrate the Unitap wallet? Will they integrate
They have
the Tap wallet? Because they're going to have their own wallet, right?
I mean, I don't know. Will they?
That's what I'm hearing.
We don't know. Okay, well then maybe they. I think they're going to have to adopt like at least one or the other. And if I was them, I would just do all three, or at least like go through their vetting processes, right? Because they have to be safe. They have to be careful. Tap having the, being the builder behind that first marketplace. Well, from what we're hearing, they might not be first to market, but just the brand alone is big, right? The Tap marketplace. I think they're going to have to like show that they support these other infrastructure builders. You know what I'm saying? Because if they don't, then that sucks, right? These are infrastructure builders.
Yeah.
So
I think they will. I think they'll integrate it. I think they have to. I think you're right. Now I think about it, it's like these guys are building for your system. Obviously, you built your marketplace, but you also got to make sure the marketplace works properly using these wallets, right? So if you're designing it for a certain wallet that you've built, and I think these guys are building on Unisat, but I think the Express wallet is better for Tap stuff because it keeps everything in a separate. You pay in the one wallet. So
but that's not the problem.
It's the minus
problem. Tap. Yeah, the problem's never really been, except for Cursed and Rare. But like outside of that, like the problem that Express was pretty smart to do that, get ahead of all that. But they were, I don't know if they were doing that because they first were looking to be a servicer for Stacks and these other ecosystems. So they were focused mainly initially on SegWit, right? And then Taproot becomes a big deal. Right. And then when Taproot becomes a big deal, they're like, okay, we'll just separate them. And it actually played out perfectly for them for certain things like curse stats, rare stats, stuff like that, or curse inscriptions, rare stats. And then it even played even further in their favor when runes and UTXO tokens there was issues with some of this stuff. So that, I don't think Tap inscription, them forking off of Unisat is okay. But whenever they integrate runes and stuff like that, that's where I think they could run into issues. But I was just pulling up, like, look at Unisat's marketplace. And when you click connect wallet, I have Unisat number 1, Xverse number 2, Leather. And let's be honest, love the Leather guys. They're, big. It was Hero before, or Hyro, whatever you want to call it. But really, they maybe have 15% of the market, right? Share. I mean, I don't know. That's completely just a speculation thrown out there. But
I would say less,
Yeah. And then you have OKX wallet, which is bigger in the East. And then you have BitGet, and then you have Phantom, and you have Magic Eden, and you have. So my point that I'm making is that they're offering like 8 wallet connects. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal for the Tap marketplace to offer a couple more.
That's true, especially in due time. Maybe it's just their wallet in the very beginning, and then they integrate it to make sure it's safe, right? So we'll see. Do you think Xverse is integrated day one? Because Xverse hasn't been a good friend of Tap at all. We don't know if there's anything partnership in the future, but we know right now that Xverse is they're kind of shunning Tap a little bit. They're doing a lot for runes.
They were, wasn't it on their like to-do list at one point supposedly to integrate Tap? So I don't know. Yeah, we don't know officially what that relationship looks like, but I think that if I think you got to probably have allow Xverse and Unisat initially, just because they're the 2 big wallets. But if I'm a Tap ecosystem person, I'm probably going to use Unitap, Tap Wallet Explorer, or Tap's wallet, because it's those other 2 wallets aren't indexing for Tap tokens. So you just got to be smart about that.
100%. Speaking of Xverse, I don't know if you noticed, but every single one of your runes now right away are indexed, even the new ones. They tweeted out, noticed your wallet balance update over the weekend. You asked for runes pricings for more collections, and we delivered. So if you go to your Xverse, you can kind of see every wallet now has every single rune pricing. So now you can see a correct balance at the top there. Before it was always like I saw my Bitcoin balance and like my RSIC or my dog, right? That wasn't really much more, but now everything is priced.
Yeah, I do see that, and they're I imagine that they're pulling this, directly from Magic Eden's floor prices. But that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think people are happy about that, I would imagine.
Yep. And speaking of Unitap, their public round has started. So if you go to their website, which is, I think, Unitap, let me make sure I got it right, unitap.io. It's a public mint right now. And guys, we're not telling you to do this whatsoever. Just kind of want to show this real quick. And I think I'm freezing up here. But yeah, so this is the wallet here. You get an OG pass. I mean, this is the website here, unitap.io. Here's the OG pass, and you can see that it's 1 day left here, 4,000 supply, and you can see the price. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So 0.00245.
It does look pretty dope though.
It's a cool looking pass for sure. It's
Yeah.
one of the cool looking ones. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to look like. But instead of it spinning, you just kind of have lights and stuff going around it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
So I want to shout that out if you're interested in that. But we'll kind of get into some bitmap stuff. We haven't talked about bitmap on the show for a long time. But in the past 30 days, the bitmap token has achieved a trading volume of 310 Bitcoin, about $18 million on Merlin, of all places, 26,900 holders participating, which is huge. But we have one little issue. The number of bitmap the number one bitmap holders, some are assuming that it's Bitoshi, but we have no idea, has sold off 40 million bitmap tokens, equivalent to 4,000 bitmaps. So if you have a bitmap, you can convert that bitmap into 1,000 tokens. So you basically take that, you take it to
10,000 tokens.
10,000 tokens for each bitmap.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can use the Phantom and convert that bitmap into tokens. Take those tokens to Merlin Swap, and you can swap them for Bitcoin itself. So a lot of people are using this method, and this number one holder is. So what's your opinion on bitmap really being a Merlin native token now? On top of that, this holder is taking advantage of that.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the main reasons Jeff brought this, idea up, was like, okay, whales don't really want to sit there and click on all these bitmaps that they want to purchase. Magic Eden's made that easier by having the sweep functionality. But even more than that, on the sell side, like, you got to wait for people that want to buy that many. And so what this does is it allows people to be able to say, okay, I don't want to hold this many bitmaps anymore. So they are able to like really have liquidity to move those through. So I think that's really big, important. But more than that, with these bitmap tokens, in the imminent release of the new version of bitmap.game being in a 3D environment, they talked about how there's going to be marketplaces in here. So using this bitmap token, having that integrated could be very important for that, right? So I think it's going to be very big. There's probably going to be staking opportunities in that environment as well. So they've been building a lot here recently, a lot of teams over there. And so it's going to be exciting to see what that ends up looking like, right? Because it could, if it hits right, there could be a lot of people spending a lot of time in bitmap.game.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That being the native token in bitmap.game, you can run around and kind of like buy and sell. That'd be cool if they initiate bitmap token as like a payment rail.
Yeah.
Because how big would that be for the game if I can buy, so I can buy your Node Monkey and bitmap tokens?
It could be huge, right? It could be huge. And that would essentially help the floor of bitmap and the perceived value eventually in the end, right? Because like, if at the end of the day, there's people that are tribal. We know that in the space. So if you're an L1 guy and you're like, I don't F that, I don't want to take it to anywhere else, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But then there's going to be people, and this is not a stab at anybody. Everybody has their own preferences, but there's people that, I don't want to say, okay, let me word this correctly. There's people that can optimize their opportunities. I think that's a good way for me to put it.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to see the arbitrage opportunities on both sides, right? And if the bitmap token is rising in market cap and value, what does that do naturally to the L1 bitmap side? It's going to bring that up as well, because people are going to see, oh crap, I can actually send those over. I can trade them out for tokens and sell them, and I make 30% profit more, right? Why wouldn't like anybody with 2 cents not do that, right? And so that's what I see possibly happening here, but that bitmap.game infrastructure starting point needs to really build out for that to happen.
Yeah, I think it does. Jeff, we told us personally that he has 6 or 7 guys that are working on bitmap.game, and he was like, if you guys have anything for them to do, let me know. So these guys are building and they're working, and I think bitmap.game is really going to be able to compete with the likes of Foxy, likes of Bitmap Valley, the likes of Uniworlds. Let's name a few there, and obviously Expectar as well. But yeah, I'm bullish on bitmaps here. For this reason, I'm bullish on what they're building on Merlin for sure. So,
gotcha. Yeah, me too. Sorry, I just got thrown off by this comment. Who's BC? It says Shizzy, one bearish would eat green candles. I don't know who BC
never, bro.
is.
You got the wrong guy for that. He's probably someone's burner account. Probably John's burner. But Yasher says, guys, be careful when you intend to mint 2 OG passes. The platform deduct the cost of 4 OG passes. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, definitely make sure you reach out to the team. Yasher, if that happened to you or anybody else. And so they can be notified and get you refunded, because that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, let's figure that out. Well, I'll talk to the team as well. We'll send them a DM, but that's rough. I just want to point out there's a conversation between Danny and Yasher where they're going back and forth talking about smashing their computers or something. I'm just dying laughing, but we'll get to that later in the comments. But yeah. He said, I opened a ticket, so they are going to take care of it. All right, cool. Well, that's good to hear. And I hope
always on top
of everyone
it.
else. He really is, dude. Here we go. Here's something that I'm very bullish on. OKX wallets integrated RSM to the wallet. They integrated 14 different assets to it. Only one was ordinals or crypto related or runes related was RSM. So that's a big deal. You can see that OKX is now paying attention to RSM. RSM to me is going to be huge. I talk to Mikhail every day in DMs. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that, and we just message each other. And he said, he has a big update coming next week for something. So I'm not allowed to say what it is, but I'm very bullish on RSM, guys. Not financial advice, not telling you to buy the token, but you can see that OKX integrated it today. We will see what that means for the future.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's big news, man. That's big news. OKX is a big entity, right? So if they believe in RSM, that's giving me more faith in it as well.
Yep. And I think everyone's just worried about that 40%. But I'm hearing that 40% of pre-mine is going to go to good use, and I got me very bullish.
Nice.
Up in here before I give out too much information that I'm not allowed to give. Alex Labs, BTC Runes Bridge is expected to go live early next week. Another big thing for Runes here. The reopening, so this isn't the first time this has been opened, but the reopening of the Runes Bridge. So you're going to be able to take your runes potentially over to Stacks, and you can play in their DeFi. Obviously Stacks is a longer blocks than Bitcoin, so that's not the best DeFi environment to be going into for now until the upgrade in next month, apparently,
2029,
which is supposed to be pretty big. 2029. I can't. What was the name of the update?
Nakamoto
update. That'll be next month. It got pushed back last time. It was supposed to come out early April, but it got pushed back to August. But we will see if we do get that next month, and if so, Runes could be a big player over there with an easy bridge over to Stacks. What we will see if that gets going. But this is big for Runes. This is another place to go trade your runes. And Stacks is a lot of people playing Stacks. Stacks is a lot of users. So
yeah, I think that this is good for Runes, right? As much as you can, bring, I guess, demand for it, then the more that the price can be effective in a positive way. So we'll see what happens. Stacks is one of those side chains that I feel like has had all the time to work on everything, but they're still in the same position as a lot of these other EVM side chains because Ordinals just came out at the beginning of last year. So all the work before wasn't really focused on this kind of thing, right? And so they kind of started. They had a little head start because a lot of people from the Stacks ecosystem came over to Ordinals first, but these EVM side chains they caught up really fast. So I think they really have to release that Nakamoto upgrade. But bigger than that is Alex. I'm happy for them to reopen their bridge. I know they dealt with a lot of stuff with that hack. And so to see them kind of bounce back here, I wish them the best, because at the end of the day, I wish all the builders in the Bitcoin ecosystem the best. We want them all to succeed.
100%. I agree. All right. Next thing here is one of our partners, Fluid Tokens. Next week will be huge for Bitcoin L1. Runes lending. We are in conversations with Raul, and he didn't tell us anything about the Runes lending about that.
Redacted.
So that's pretty funny. But we do know about what is redacted. There is something else coming next week. Can you believe it's next week?
Well, I can't believe you used the redacted strategy here.
There's nothing I can do here. That's what they tweeted. This is the tweet from them. I didn't want to say anything, so I just left it exactly what the tweet read. So it's Runes lending pool, which isn't it crazy how he didn't even say anything about this and he just pops it out. They're building, guys. They're building in the background, and they're building quicker than they can speak it out.
Yeah, the redacted part is the thing I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
So,
but we can give you one clue. It does bring TVL to Bitcoin. That is something that they tweeted out previously. So that's something that we can.
If you know anything about anything, then you should be able to put 2 and 2 together there. Putting
Bitcoin on DeFi Llama has always been a goal of mine.
You're like, I'm gonna give them more. I'm gonna give them more.
Here's a conversation piece. Are Ordinals enjoyers not Rune enjoyers?
Yeah, I'm starting to see some artistes and some collection creators disgruntled about Runes and what Runes has done to the Ordinal space. But I was a bit confused and kind of scratched my head on that, because it seemed like the top Ordinals influencers are the ones that really, are a part of this initiative. Let's start with Casey. He loves art on Bitcoin, right? He's the biggest Ordinal enjoyer, supposedly. He created it. And then he creates Runes, right? So I just am looking at this and I'm seeing, collection creators and artists that feel like they're even further away from where they were before Runes in terms of like success or being able to continually do this or get to that full time of doing this. But I would say this, just have a little bit more patience, because we're close. We're close to the point to where you will be able to reap the rewards of your, consistency and being persistent, of showing up every day and creating your art and stuff like that. Look, even in the craziest and wildest of bull markets, your art might not hit with certain audiences, big audiences, and that's okay. If you create the art for what you want to create it for, but you should still be able to find like a bigger audience than you have now during those times. And I think that, it will pay off for most of these artists and collection creators. But I do feel your pain. I mean, I'm not in your shoes, but I can see why you feel this way. What about you? What do you think?
I just stop being babies. You know what I mean? They're taking liquidity away from my JPEGs. Like this is our ecosystem. It's PvP right now. If you're here to make money right now, you're not playing the game right. The money comes later. The money comes from bigger. We have 2 different sources of money over here that is going to be coming into the Bitcoin ecosystem. One being the people who just hold Bitcoin and now will be using potential swaps and stuff like that to go into stable coins and out of stable coins. So they're coming, and eventually they're going to become in the Runes. I can feel it. There's so much liquidity over in Bitcoin. They're coming to Ordinals. They're coming to Runes. It'll only be towards the end of the cycle, though, 100%. And that's when the real money comes in. And then it's from outside of people, the people that are on ETH buying NFTs, the people that are on Solana buying NFTs, they will come. Right now, if you're upset because somebody is selling their JPEG to buy a Rune, you're not understanding market cycles. You're not understanding where we are in this cycle, and you're not really understanding the concept of, everyone just kind of trying to get ahead of everyone else, right? Everyone's just trying to make as much as they possibly can in this bull run. The collector cycle will come. The collecting and stuff like that is here, and it's here to stay. But right now, this year is all about getting ready for the next bull run. But I promise you, everyone in this ecosystem will make out like a bandit in an upcoming 6 to 15 months. I'm positive of it. There's a lot of liquidity coming to Ordinals. We would not do a daily show on Ordinals and Tap and Runes and everything else if we didn't truly believe that was so. Just be patient. Take your time with it, and don't worry if your JPEG goes up and down in value. Just make sure that you're in the top 10 for sure. So.
Yep. I love that breakdown.
Yeah, man. All right. Do you want to jump into Security Wednesday?
Let's do it. Security Wednesdays. We got our guy Abdul, which everybody saw yesterday. He was nice enough to join us yesterday on Tap Tuesdays. So let's go ahead and bring Abdul up to the stage. What's going on?
Man.
Oh, did you want to do something?
And I was just gonna say, for anyone who doesn't know, with Traverses, let's let Abdul head on. I was gonna head on, but you're already up here, so go for it. What is Traverse? If I'm new, my first time here, what is Traverse?
The easiest way to think of Traverse is an online hardware wallet. So what you're able to do with Traverse is you're able to create an account after connecting your wallet and create Bitcoin vaults. And what these vaults do is that you're able to transfer all of your Bitcoin layer 1 assets to them. So you can think of BRC20s, you can think of TAP, DMT assets in your Bitcoin to any of your vaults. And from there, any transfer outside the vault requires your confirmation with your MFA codes in order to process. And the key differentiator of Traverse as well is, in addition to the security we provide recoverability. So anytime you set up an account with Traverse, the recovery mechanism that you choose to set up is either your security questions or your standard 12-word mnemonic. And what Traverse helps you there is that even if you lose your private key, even if someone compromises your private key, your assets in your Traverse vaults are always secure and always recoverable, regardless of what happens to your keys.
And why use Traverse over something like a ledger? Obviously, right now in Ordinals, that's you'd say almost impossible. But like, why use Traverse over like for Bitcoin over a ledger?
Yeah, I mean, the key differentiator here is that Ledger doesn't provide you with the on-chain MFA that we do whenever there's an asset transfer or asset withdrawal. And we actually have videos on our X account where you can search for Ledger and you can see us actually intentionally getting compromised using a Ledger after connecting it to a Discord phishing link through OpenSea's official Discord links as well for one of their collections. So just recognize this. Ledger, as long as you don't know how to navigate using a ledger, it doesn't provide you with a simplistic way to actually secure your assets. So Traverse is still simple, it's still secure, and it's recoverable, and even more than a ledger is. So that's the main point of differentiation. Ledger doesn't provide you with on-chain MFA as well. So whenever there's like a withdrawal from a ledger, yeah, it does require some it does require your confirmation, but it won't require MFA codes, and it's not recoverable as well.
Yeah, we had a couple of hacks yesterday. I saw someone on my timeline. They lost a bitmap punk. They lost a few other assets as well. What like if I was trying to if I was having trouble sleeping at night, right? Because I had these assets in here and I'm seeing everyone's wallet kind of getting hacked a little bit. What would I do?
You would create an account with Traverse and you would transfer your assets in one of your Bitcoin vaults. And you can create as many Bitcoin vaults as you like. So you can think of it as really an unlimited number of hardware wallets, an unlimited number of ledgers that are all tied to that one account that you create with Traverse through the wallet that you connected to. So if you click on Launch App and you go to login, here it's asking you for your password.
All right, I'm going to sign in, and my vaults come up, right? So I'll click over here, click vaults, and these are my vaults. This is my hide from wipe vault. This is my Shizzy vault, my Ordinal vault, and in my Shizzy vault, I have my Ordinals OG pass. Yeah, it was in here. I guess I took it. Okay, unfreeze assets. Here it is right here. I have some Bitcoin in here, and I have some Traverse here. So I will get some of this Bitcoin out of here.
And guys, please put any questions you have in the chat for the Ordinal After Hour and for Traverse directly if you have any. Thank you, guys.
So I'll come over here. I'll get my my address here, and I will paste it. And I'll send in some Bitcoin out. I'm going to confirm. Normal. Initiate transaction. And it's going to ask me for what is it asking for me here?
It asks for your email and authenticator code. So that way, even if someone does have your private keys and they are aware that you have Traverse vaults and they connect using your wallet to Traverse's D app and access your vaults, they won't be able to actually withdraw the Bitcoin that you just withdrew or attempting to withdraw without your email and authenticator codes. So that's really the point of differentiation that Traverse offers on the security front.
So I'll go here. I'll go to my Gmail. And there it is. There's the code. I'm going to copy the code there. So I got that. I'm going to come back over here, add it in here. And I'm going to go to my Authenticator app, which I have on my phone here. And I'm going to put that in. Good to go. It's going to estimate a network fee. And then I'm just going to hit proceed.
Once you hit proceed, yeah, you're just going to, looks like it's asking you to confirm. So now we're just going to inscribe the necessary transfers because you are also withdrawing that Traverse token. It's a tap.
Okay.
That's why it's asking for inscribe transfer.
All right. So as long as you have the email and the authenticator, then you're good to go.
Yeah, it really is as simple as that. Just your email, just your authenticator. It looks like, Shizzy, what you're doing is, could you check, because this is common, where sometimes the wallet address that is connected to Traverse is no longer the wallet address that you created your vaults with. So that's the number one thing. So this one ends in 53UE. And if you go back, Shizzy, to your Gmail, you can see. Yeah, you can also confirm from like your Gmail if it's the correct one, because there's like the address underneath.
There it is, 35EE. It's right there. Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right,
that is the correct one.
Awesome. And I want to address this statement here from Raziak, one of our longtime members here. Appreciate this comment here. It says, I use Ledger/Xverse for all my ordinals and Bitcoin wallets, no problems. So I think that the one single issue, so I think that's fine, but the one single issue is if you did connect that Ledger through Xverse to a website, I think they could, and it was a malicious site, they could still access, right?
Yes,
because you don't have the MFA and the email notification, or the email notification and the QR code, basically hurdles for the scammer to try to decipher.
And the ledger is really as secure as the user's knowledge is. So if you are knowledgeable regarding how to navigate using hardware wallets, how to set up your own hardware wallet, then it's a completely different story. But most users simply don't have that education when it comes to ledgers, when it comes to other hardware wallets that are on the market, and they don't know how to use them as well. Use them properly, keep their assets safe, even using a ledger. So Traverse really simplifies the process for you and takes away from any kind of difficulty that these hardware wallets could entail to some of their users. So that's what we do.
Awesome. We have a question from D Love. She says, how do one duplicate a Google Authenticator on the desktop? So I know that there is a code on the mobile app where you can export that code to another device, correct?
Yeah, and whenever you set up your account with Traverse, you're setting up your email and authenticator. So the way to actually input your authenticator is either through a typical QR code, or there's also a key that's underneath that QR code, which you can then copy and input into multiple devices. So on the desktop specifically, if that's the question, there's actually authenticator browser extensions on Chrome, and I'm positive you can find a download version of an authenticator. And most common ones, most secure ones that people use could be Microsoft, Google Authenticator, and Okta. Those are the ones that I'm most familiar with, but there's a lot more out there in the market, really.
Amen.
Awesome. All right. Okay. So we're going to get into the questions here in a little bit, but before we do, I'd like to ask you if there's any updates with any partnerships or anything that you could speak about today to update the audience. And Traverse, I know you guys have been working on some B2B stuff, which is amazing because I think that's a really strong area you guys can grow in. If you could talk about that.
Yeah, and most of the weeks that we've been on, we've been mentioning the same thing, which is just the resources. And that's why on the user side of things, there hasn't been any new developments. But on the partner side of things, there has been many, and we're thankful for that. So yesterday after Tap Tuesday, and during Tap Tuesday, actually, Mark from Launchpunks mentioned that there's a partnership that is between Launchpunks and Traverse. And what that partnership entails is, since Launchpunks is a launchpad, they're going to secure all of their assets that are going to be used in the launchpad using Traverse Vaults. And it could also extend to Treasury multisigs that we aim to offer down the line as well. So that's the number one thing. For their launchpads, right now, what we're working on is making sure that at the time of the launch date for some of these tokens, that they're all secured and that they're released directly from the vault to the user addresses. So that's a primary goal that we're working towards.
Awesome.
That's
So
a huge update. Huge.
yeah, it's a really big update, because that's not just a typical, we're holding treasury, not we're holding, but we're helping manage the treasury fund type of situation, because they would be managing anyways. They would have the control over it. You would just make sure the platform's there. But this is something different that's going to constantly be an inflow and outflow to make sure that these projects the tokens of these projects are going to be secured and as well like redistributed, right? So I see this as not only, assisting in the Tap ecosystem, but because this is going to all be happening with Bitcoin layer 1 assets on Bitcoin's native layer, this also contributes to the Bitcoin TVL, correct?
Yes, definitely. And, that's one of the primary goals that we have, which is just contributing to the overall ecosystem. And one way we do that, like one way we specifically grow the TVL, is by adding that security field. So people feel more comfortable actually being able to swap their Bitcoin for on-chain assets, and making sure that even if they do swap it, they can take the appropriate measures with Traverse to keep them secure. And beyond that, the primary focus that we have had right now is within the Tap ecosystem, there's a network of projects. And what I can say is that you can make sure that Traverse is pretty much interacting with every single one of these Tap projects and helping them maintain and keep their assets secure for their users in one way, one shape, or one form as well. So we're in the back end. We're in the back end of a lot of different projects.
Yeah. Absolutely love that, because and I know Shizzy loves that, because he always loves to go to DeFi Llama, and he says that like he wants to see Bitcoin be at the top where it belongs. It does belong there. But we have to remember this is the first year of a robust on-chain economy for Bitcoin. It's never had a robust on-chain economy before, right? So with that innovation happen, stuff like Traverse, to where this can contribute to building up this TVL. So Traverse in itself will be able to kind of report and reflect a TVL for your own entity as well, correct?
Yes, we would be able to across like multiple different integrations we're working on across multiple partner projects, and even on the user side of things, would be able to report the TVL figures there. Yes.
Awesome.
Because I did want to note, like, one thing on the TVL is I often see like graphs within the Ordinals community comparing like the size of, Bitcoin's market cap to its TVL and Ethereum's market cap to its TVL. Ethereum is, I think, like the graphs do have a flaw, which is most developers interact with Bitcoin or with blockchain really on Solidity. So most developers are Solidity oriented and they're EVM oriented, and most cryptography research is actually happening on EVM. So it's not necessarily happening on the Bitcoin side of things, Solana side of things, and other non-EVM chains as well. So that's why, like, I think just overall these comparisons about having almost one-to-one market cap between the blockchain market cap itself, so Bitcoin's market cap and Bitcoin TVL, is likely not going to happen, because even most Bitcoin addresses are offline, right? They're not actively engaged in the on-chain ecosystem, and that's probably not going to happen anytime soon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. It is kind of an unrealistic comparison right now, but I think there's a good point that actually, Shizzy's brought up to me a couple of times, is if you were to check, like, all right, So if we were to do like the Bitcoin that lives in Bitcoin wallets, and that counts as like hardware wallets as well, and you did the total value of that and incorporate that, then I think Bitcoin could actually have more, right? Because if you did the total value of Bitcoin, it's definitely more, right, market cap wise versus Ethereum. Now, what Shizzy's brought up to me is what we need to do is we need to open that up for the people that are like have hardware wallets on Ledger hardware wallets, or they have a regular hot wallet, but they don't want to move their Bitcoin out because they don't have anything interesting enough for them to transfer their Bitcoin into on chain. And so I think that he had a really good point with that. And I do agree with you, Abdul. It would take a very long time, but to Shizzy's point, if Pandora's box gets open, that can open the floodgates.
And the biggest way to open that box is stablecoins. So these guys right now, when they want to go into a stablecoin, they have to send it to a centralized exchange. They're using a very central way of doing that. But in the future, we're going to have really good stablecoins over here. I mean, we have one already, but it's not the safest one in the world right now because we don't know too much about it. Besides, we know Jackaloo and stuff like that. But there's more and more coming, especially if we get USDT. Getting USDT over here would be absolutely amazing, and especially if it is a rune or a tap token or who knows, BRC20, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow them to do it in a more decentralized manner, and I'm sure they would jump to that. And what that's also going to do, that's going to open that Pandora box, show them how easy it is to get from Bitcoin to USDT, and some of them will stay. What they do is they just play the 4-year cycle. They sell at the top, they buy the bottom, they continue the journey. They don't ever really pull money out to get their bank accounts. It's just kind of like what they do. It's just they've been here since 2011, 2013, and they understand the 4-year cycles better than anyone else, since they use that to their advantage. And so bringing those guys over here, they got tons of Bitcoin, right? Tons of it. Maybe they come over here and they start getting a little bit more risky. They take a little bit that they're willing to lose, and they buy a JPEG, or they buy a rune, or they buy a tap token, or they say, hey, I'm going to use Taps DeFi now that I'm actually over here, and I'm going to just lock my Bitcoin up. Creates TVL. Yeah. Same time, that creates, they're earning something for doing so, which is definitely possible.
And that would create like a massive amount of increase in TVL. I mean, like example of Traverse, let's say like a year and a half down the road, and to your point with the branding matters. USDT comes over here. Yeah. Bitcoiners that are even thinking about it will have more confidence into going into something that the Tether company does, right? But then like because of that, they'll have more confidence in using like a USDT, and something else. Like let's say that Traverse has vaults down the staking vaults or something down the road, right? That will just like really just ladder up things. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it has to, if it's going to be a native stable token with the new branding and everything, that's going to take time. But if USDT came over here, that's a different.
Trust is already there.
Yep. Yeah.
100%. And just like the volatility when it comes to Bitcoin is, as you guys know, like a move in Bitcoin, just a percentage wise, or like 0.01 Bitcoin is greater than something like 0.01 ETH or 0.01 Solana. So an NFT or an ordinal dropping 50% on Bitcoin is not very appealing to a lot of people. So it makes them double think twice whenever they want to spend their Bitcoin on an asset on chain, because the value loss could be so much greater than on Ethereum and many other blockchains as well. So having something like stable coins, just making sure the rate is 1-to-1 there, would definitely hedge them against some of these potential losses down the line.
100%, I agree. But you got to remember too, I think we're about 6 months away from an insane bull market, in my opinion. So a lot of them might want to get a little more risky, want to get more Bitcoin. Maybe they did some stuff in the last cycle where they took money out and bought some stuff. Maybe they want to make that back. And the easiest way to make that back is maybe get into a JPEG or getting into a risky tap token, right? Because at the end of the day, the best part about being in Bitcoin is we're obviously we try to go against the dollar, but in reality we're kind of just going against Satoshis. It's all about getting more Satoshis. Like for me, I don't care about the value of my asset. I care about how many Satoshis I can get for that asset. And if I buy it for this amount of Satoshis, I want to get more out. I don't care if the price is higher or lower in dollar value. It doesn't mean nothing to me. It's all about getting more Satoshis. And I feel like that's what's the mindset of those guys as well. This can got to get them a little bit more risk on in a Bitcoin blockchain environment.
100%. I mean, once there's even more infrastructure as well, once there's even
Yeah.
more on the user experience side of things, just like there was on Ethereum. So Magic Eden, is doing a great job on the ordinal side of things, but there's still not as many, let's say, like easily accessible infrastructure that we saw on Ethereum, especially during the peak bull market of Ethereum. So the 2021, 2022 period. So as more infrastructure projects are being built, more ease on the user side of things, I think will definitely, contribute to that bull market that you were talking about, Shizzy. Within
Yeah,
that, yeah. Well, we're all
we're about
excited, obviously.
but I think we're about 6 months away from that euphoria phase. Obviously, we have to get to there first. We're in the bear trap phase, in my opinion, and the next phase is renewed optimism. I think that comes in the next month or so, and then euphoria phase comes after we have a different president, whether that be a Democrat or Republican. I just think we need that change to kind of get people to think a little bit more into innovation. And I think that comes no matter who that is, but I think it is definitely needs a change from the person who was okay with the anti-crypto army and the person that was okay with Operation Choke Point. So I just think that needs to be a different person there as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming.
I mean,
Regardless, what's going to happen. Go ahead.
as soon as like Wall Street started, touching Bitcoin with the ETFs, then it's a completely different story. Like
That's
the
true.
anti-crypto army isn't. I mean, they're not gonna have, I think, any influence on any type of party.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%. That it was annoying to see, though. Just being
That
like
was
a
a tough bear market, man.
from being from the inside. But amazing updates. We appreciate that. We look forward to other updates as well. We know that you guys are working really, really hard. But if you can hang with us, there's a couple questions in the chat for you directly. Go ahead.
I have one question for Abdul here.
All
You're kind of in the background a little bit. Could you give us anything maybe on the tap marketplace? Maybe next week? You see anything happening in the next 2 weeks? Maybe.
A set timeline is something that I cannot, I can't exactly mention. But what my understanding is it's proceeding as planned, and just when it comes to any regular marketplace, you got to make sure that enough testing has been done, that there will be no type of loss of funds, or for example something goes wrong down the line. Obviously, no one wants that. So I'm sure right now, if I'm correct in my understanding of what they're doing, is that it's just a testing phase to make sure the marketplace is fully ready, and it's going to pretty much help flow in liquidity towards the tap ecosystem. That's my understanding.
So you're saying soon's the
Yeah,
word.
I don't, as much as I want to obviously, contribute to the hype and mention any type of updates to the community. I don't speak for the TTP team, and I think they will likely have even more updates than me probably next Tuesday.
I think if I were to put a guess on it, I think there will be a marketplace for tap soon, but that's just my speculation completely. So
I'm speculating July. I'd be disappointed if it was August, but I'd be happy either way.
I think July is a good target, and like the tap team has been saying it publicly in their Discord as well. I popped in like a few days ago and I saw something about it being in July, and even like the potential for the TGE of the token to be in July. So I think it's all, they're aiming for everything to happen around the same time. But again, like just something to note is that the price of Bitcoin itself as an asset does not necessarily reflect the liquidity into altcoins. And this is just something we're seeing with the 7 sats fees on the mempool, right? Like the on-chain activity is still very low, even though Bitcoin is climbing back, and stock markets at all-time highs. So just something to remember.
Well, I have my own theory on why the fees have been lower and lower and lower, but I don't want to get into that because I feel like that could get a really deep rabbit hole. But I think that's amazing, and I'm just happy that I have 2 tap wallets I can see my actual tap tokens in, and I think that's huge for infrastructure. But yeah. All right. So let's jump directly into these questions here. So the first one from Jose Francisco Jose is what is or will be the utility of the Traverse Tap token? Is that something you can touch on?
Yes. First off, the immediate utility we can touch on is reduction in fees across of all of Traverse's ecosystem. So you can think of it as whenever we get the partner integration and the partner is a DEX, then you will have reduced fees as long as you hold any type of or any amount of Traverse tokens. Really, it's likely going to be tiered. Same applies for the marketplace, and even within Traverse Vaults itself, whether you're interacting with it through Traverse's D app or through partner projects, which I mean, some of it is like launch punks, right? And then there will be others that will be announced. Then you will also get reduced fees across the partners platform themselves, and also the Traverse fees, if there's any planned Traverse fees in the future. But beyond that, you will also have utility in the form of cosmetics, and that's like quality of life features that we like to mention, which is the .sat integration that we have planned for the Traverse vaults. So as long as you hold Traverse tokens, you will be able to enable that, which will allow you to delegate a certain unique .sat name to your vault's address, and that's actually through a partnership with the .sat community as well, which we can announce here. So that's just one thing. And the Traverse Tab token, I mean, it's a first mover from BRC20 to Tab, so I'm sure there will be a utility play for it in the wider ecosystem, and even within like partner projects themselves down the line.
Love the .sats integration. I think that needs to happen more actually in our space. But don't forget about the random whitelist opportunities. If you hold 100,000 Traverse tokens or more, you can submit your wallet address for a drawing to get into certain mints, DMT mints, other mints that they get access to. So that's another utility that you can have with your Traverse token. So.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say is that pretty much almost every single DMT project we're in contact with, and if you hold Traverse Tab tokens, you will get whitelist opportunities for them. And recently as well, over the weekend, DMT Natamons, an upcoming TCG based DMT experience as well, with an actual vision for a game. I became their advisor, and beyond that, they also invited me to help work with them and make sure that their launch and their vision for their Century DMT project is going to go solid and smoothly. So what I can say is that there will be more to talk about on the DMT Natamon side of things. So I encourage you guys to like check out the Discord, check out the Rex, see the amount of cards and classes that they're creating. There's nothing else like this. Every single aspect of the card is based on DMT. It's HP, it's armor, it's stats attack, and it's an actual TCG card game that's going to come on DMT. So first type of game on DMT is going to be DMT Natamons.
Yeah, man. And it's cool. Abdul asked me my opinion on something, and I'm just like, put some names on it. It's just fun. It's just cool to think about. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just I was big into Pokemon as a kid. It kind of gives me those feels. So I'm very bullish on Natamons. I think they're going to be really, really good. And it's a few little tweaks. I think you guys can get it perfect. But I do like what I see so far.
Yep.
100%.
And don't forget, we did a drawing for 50 guaranteed whitelist, and then the rest of our pass holders, the Natamon team was generous enough to give you guys first come first serve. So if you have an OG or Ordinal Revolution OG pass, I posted the 50 guaranteed winners, and then if you didn't make that list, you still have first come first serve. So go check out the OG pass and the YouTube members channels in our Discord to see if you're on that list. You don't want to miss that mint. It's the first gamified DMT mint.
Yeah, I'm gonna be number 1 on that leaderboard. I guarantee it.
Gotta catch them all.
You can just one last thing to mention on Natamons. There's a Natamon viewer. So right now there's more, let's say, classes that are being added, and you're able to view the classes that they currently have on natamon.xyz. You're able to view like the block, so enter any block you want, and you're able to view the card that could be generated from that block. But again, this is random, so that way they prevent sniping at the time of the mint. Also, something else to say, that their Gitbook is live, and there's actually some screenshots and videos available of some of the game itself and what you can expect from the game that's already there. So the Natamons team has been working incredibly hard to make sure that the game is reality, and it comes soon as well.
Sounds great, dude. I'm
Awesome.
excited for it. It's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. I've been doing all the mints lately. I did I got 3 Natbats. I did a couple of the Wizards. I've been buying the crowns off the marketplace because people are crazy for listing them at $80. So I got like 11 crowns now. I hope they go up in value. I might just have to send them a bunch of wallets so I can get more mints. But definitely check out Inscribed. I think it's inscribed.com.
Yeah, Mscribe. Mscribe is
Inscribed. Yeah.
yes, site.
Yep.
Mscribe.io. Yeah.
All right. D-Love asks, how does one duplicate the Google Authenticator on desktop?
You could export it. So depending on the type of authenticator that you have, there's in some of them at least like an edit button where you're actually able to export that key if you already have it within that authenticator app itself, if that's what you're referring to.
Yep, I think she is. So well, I think you can just download the extension on your browser, and then you'll have to enter like the email address that account is under, right? So that's how I think you do it from that way.
So for like the Google Authenticator on the application side of things as well, on the phone, it's tied to your Gmail account, so you can actually just export them between the Gmail accounts that you want as well. So let's make sure when it comes to the authenticator to have it on multiple devices to reduce the potential loss of it being tied to just.
I think that's what she's trying to do. I think she's trying to get it on the PC as well. So to do that, you just download the extension, the Google extension, and associate it with the Gmail account that you created on your other device.
Yeah, and you can also like hop in Traverse's Discord, ask the questions that you want, and we'll make sure to help guide you through the process.
Perfect. Mauricio says Authy is better than Google Authenticator. He's asking, is Authy better? There was a problem with Google Authenticator before. So I've used Authy for work before. I mean, it's worked fine. Does that work for the MFA?
Any type of QR code or key-based authenticator works.
So that's just your preference then, from a user standpoint, whichever you like better. I don't think there's issues with either that stand out to me. So, all right, see what else we got here. This person here keeps asking this question. I see you says OrdPass or Key of Destiny Titan? Question. Please advise. Shizzy, I'm gonna put this question on you.
No, this is not financial advice whatsoever. If you're gonna take financial advice from us, you're just don't do it. No, but I'm not bullish on Uniworlds, and it might take me some time. Like I wasn't bullish on the Nats in the beginning either, as it took me a little while to kind of warm up to it. But as of right now, Ordzard Pass is probably something that you're gonna want to have because I know that the what's the site called? No, what's the marketplace?
Odin Swap.
Odin Swap is coming, and you will get if you do hold the Ordzard Pass, you will get an Odin Swap airdrop potentially. I'm not sure if that's information.
I think so you get a rune airdrop for Ordzard's rune, I believe.
Gotcha.
But I think you might have beta access to the Odin Swap. So
gotcha.
Yeah, so that's going to be like a swap for runes. It's going to be centralized. Nakib came out and just straight up told everybody, hey, this is the limitations of Bitcoin right now. It has to be centralized. So, I think I would also lean towards the Ordzard Pass, like Shizzy said. It's, not financial advice, but I could see the Keys of Destinies working out too. I am bigger than on the Unisat and fractal Bitcoin ecosystem than Shizzy is, but I'm big on multiple meta protocol ecosystems, right? So we're just gonna have to really see how that Uniworlds plays out because it's such a big undertaking. Anytime you do like a metaverse thing, it's easy to get people excited because you put graphics out there, you put a video roll out there, and people, I get it, but until you can use it, right? I was able to use Foxy's game. That was awesome because I was like, wow, way further along than I thought they were, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, obviously, to build a game out, they still got some work to do, but I would say they're probably halfway there, if not a little bit further. But I played it, and I was able to shoot people, and people killed me. Kimmy killed me a lot in that game. I keep bringing that up because it's like literally wouldn't let me play. Anyways, but this is my perspective on Uni Worlds is that like we need to play it. So
yeah, I agree.
You got opinion on either, Abdul?
Yeah, I mean, slight opinion. Bitmaps decentralized, Uniworld centralized. Unisat. I mean, the benefit of Unisat. Everyone knows this by this point is the Binance funding as well, and everything that they do, whether it's like the wallet itself, marketplace, fractal Bitcoin. So it's all interconnected, and everything that they touch seem to have, increased amount of liquidity as well. Whether it's like pizzas, whether it's their pass. So honestly, fading Unisat, even if you're not bullish, might not be the best move, to be frank with you.
Yeah, I love that
So
answer, man.
You're
Well,
going
he
to
broke it down on both sides.
yeah. If I forced you to buy one today, if you had it, you couldn't leave here till you bought one. Which one you buy?
A Unisat, and that's nothing against Ordzar. It's just it's the power of the Unisat
Yeah,
team.
I think you're betting on the backers basically at that point. And that's my biggest thing. Whenever me and Shizzy get into those deep conversations, it's Binance when you have them, and I think there's a good amount of people that don't like Unisat for when they first came out because they were very gatekeeping from like other builders and stuff like that. But they've learned that they have to open up to that. So we'll see how that plays out, though. That's a great question, though.
Great question.
All right, let's see here. What else we got? So Yasher says Stacks developers are great in having Twitter spaces, interviews, and discussing and talking. That is all. Whoa, that's a big. I mean, hey, there's truth to that, but
marketing
yeah,
though, it's marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I love. Yeah, sure, he gives it straight. That's for sure.
I think is mainly about if I remember Yasher from the Twitter space or just the Twitter conversations. He's been talking about the bridge that Alex Labs has, and it doesn't seem like he's finding an alternative, if I'm correct. So maybe that's where some of the frustration stems.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because he follows up and he says, like, Alex, or he made this statement earlier, and he was just like, Alex Labs is Stacks. And if you think about it, I mean, they kind of are. If you look from a Bitcoin ecosystem perspective, that's the only way for you to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think people were even using Alex to swap stuff, right? Like whenever they were buying like Corgi, was it Corgi, or there was like some dog token that blew up kind of over there.
I'm gonna check DeFi Llama and see what they have in Stacks.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
I'm just like tired of L2s. It seems like every single opportunity there's a new L2 on Bitcoin, and I mean, that's where the main focus of some of these VCs are. So they're just going to keep on pumping L2s till they understand that there's an Ordinals ecosystem that's on chain on Bitcoin itself. And then maybe we'll see added liquidity from there.
Yeah. Well, I think they're like trying to solve the flexibility issue, right? But, we've heard perspectives from many people, including a block runner, that says like fix the flexibility issue on L1 first. But I mean, that's tough, right? Obviously, that's what's taking so long. But go ahead, Shizzy. What do you got there?
Yeah, so obviously liquid staking is huge on all chains. So that's number one. Zest is borrowing and lending is obviously easy way to earn. You can single stake your assets. Bitflow is a DEX. Bitflow actually has more TVL than Alex.
Barely.
I didn't even really know that. I mean, it is barely, but they do have it. I actually don't even know what Bitflow.finance is.
Well, I imagine that flipped after that hack.
Yeah,
because you gotta imagine if you're staking,
that's true.
After the hack, you're probably gonna withdraw your assets, right? I mean, nothing against Alex. I mean, that sucks. I think they're bouncing back strong, but it is what it is. That's kind of a inevitable thing.
Yeah, but you can see there's no layer one assets on Bitflow. There's no layer one assets. I don't think on Alex. I think Alex does have layer one assets, right?
They have an ordering book environment for the layer one assets on Alex, from what I remember, but it's not like swap.
Yeah, I mean, if Alex Labs is listening to to this show, reach out to Traverse. Already in the back end of one swap, and no hacks, no private key compromises equals hacks.
So they have Orange A. So you sell some BRC20s in there.
Yeah, there is some
If
beers.
you scroll up right there, TX20, B20.
Oh, here we go.
How much is B20 going for? I think I got some B20. I need to sell my B20.
I'm actually curious. Let's go XBTC. How many you got? Let's say you have let's say you have 100. It's $2.80.
Oh, let's get out of there! Get out of there right now.
What's the one that you're talking about? Is that a DApp on Stacks?
What are you talking about?
You mentioned one swap or something, right?
No.
Maybe not. Okay.
No. I said they had an ordering book style.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember they used to have an ordering book style. You're not supposed to show your email code. Did you show your email code? Someone said, "Oh, you're not supposed to show it, bro."
It changes, doesn't it?
It does.
It changes every time you request. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you don't want your email to be hacked.
Yeah.
That's the ideal position here.
Yeah. Well, that's the QR. The QR saves you.
DeFi.
Yeah.
That's the DeFi thing though. That's the
Yeah.
I don't use that one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's see what else we got, guys. We are running pretty over right now, about 10 minutes. So we'll try to hit on some of these main questions, and then we'll end it here. Let's see if there's anything I missed above. Matt says, "What's the alpha on the X talk? Just join the show." Shizzy, you want to kind of go over that money remitter and how that opportunity could be?
So Elon right now, he has a money transfer license from 36 to 51 states. What that's going to allow him to do is potentially do a lot more. You can potentially do crypto as well. You're going to be able to, in our opinion, run marketplaces on Twitter. You're going to be able to tip, your favorite YouTuber, right? You'll be able to tip them through Twitter using any currency that you would like, as long as it's like legit. I think it's probably going to be Doge, Bitcoin, and a few others. It's just another like innovation by X, and they're really trying to push being that just town hall type of marketplaces as well. So
yeah, I think it could really just help. It could help X's bottom line tremendously, because think about it, like, yeah, you'll still have Facebook for like kind of like the family and very close friends type of communication, kind of like the photo albums type of thing, but then X will pretty much take over everything else in terms of like financial and all these things. And the amazing thing is, I've seen Bitcoin ecosystem builders already start to jump at this, saying, hey, they're trying to roll in the social feed to be able to post like a listing and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how Traverse could roll into this, but I'm sure there's a way that you guys could somehow figure out how to, have a product in your product catalog with this. But I just think it opens up so much more, even for just if we bring it down to the Bitcoin ecosystem space. What do you think, Abdul?
Yeah, I mean, look, Traverse is flexible, and that's really the primary advantage that we have. So we can work with whatever project is vision and whatever a partner project needs from us as well to secure their assets and make them recoverable. One thing is the key social media for crypto is just X and Telegram. So any builder that wants to target the crypto community probably needs to build something there. And Solana already has something similar to what you're talking about, Yagobi, where you're actually able to buy listings directly from X as well. So it's something that they released last week. I'm not sure how ingrained or how familiar you guys are with the Solana ecosystem, but they have something that's live. So it's quite impressive.
Yeah. Well, I think
on X,
oh, wow.
on Telegram, on everything. It's just a link that you can integrate wherever. So you can buy a listing directly on an X post, for example.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's big on X as well, though, because like it's not just for digital. If you want to list a pair of Jordans, I think you'll be able to do that. You want to list a pack of Pokemon cards, you'll be able to do that. If you want to list like a Charizard, you'll be able to do that. But I mean, also it's great for you can list your Quantum Cat that people maybe don't see on Magic Eden, but they're going through like, oh, I want that one. That one has the cool eyes, or that one has the whatever, the no monkey.
Yeah.
Whatever, so.
And you could do it without middlemen. or you could do it with middlemen if you want that extra security and insurance, right? And I think that's where crypto kind of opens the door, right? It's kind of like, okay, Shizzy says, I don't want to use this. Let's say there's a Bitcoin ecosystem servicer or whatever. I don't want to use them. I just want to sell it myself. You can post it directly there. But if you screw someone over and you scam them, you don't send the Jordans, they're out of the Bitcoin they sent you. If there is a business model that comes in and says, hey, look, they're going through our platform, we're protecting you, there's an insurance thing here. That's where I see like TradFi coming in. I know people are gonna be like, well, we want decentralized everything. Guys, you got to understand, yes, the option is the most important thing. Having the option, because in the world we lived before, they made it to where we felt like we didn't have the option. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm big on.
And just like imagine if you're able to rotate your ordinals or your NFTs as profile pictures, and then based on a profile picture you like, you can purchase it directly from X. I think that would be like incredible way to showcase what you guys have.
100%.
And let's say I get a rare Natamon. How cool would that be to kind of show it off, put it at like 1 Bitcoin price floor, but I'm actually just showing it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, dude. And the marketplace on X will just grow exponentially, because they know that they can do that, right? And they're like, oh my God, what a steal. Shizzy just listed this and someone grabs it real quick. Everybody's trying to grab it because it's rare, so it'll be very, very interesting to see how this goes. And I'm excited about it. That's for sure. Because I feel like the future is definitely bright, and where it's the perfect timing for all this stuff to be released heading into this bull market.
Yep. Yasher says Yagobi's absolutely right. More options brings more competition, and more competition favors for the users and consumers. 100%.
Yep. Shout out to Bitmap News. Good morning, guys. Keep pushing. Yes, sir. We will, sir. And you too, man. Shout out to you. Hosting those spaces. Bitmap needs as many leaders as possible in the space, and for all the Bitmap community out there, don't be sad. Don't be down in the dumps, because I promise you, Bitmap ain't going nowhere. If it does, then we got to change our logo, which we ain't going to change.
Bitmap News.
I know.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. They're just like a passionate community, and they had us on previously. So Bitmap News, I'm very thankful for you guys having Traverse on. It's impressive. I mean, you can hear the community there talking about bitmaps for like maybe an hour or two, and discussing the meaning of bitmaps and what you can do with it. So the passion there is absolutely incredible. I don't think bitmaps is going anywhere.
Yeah. I was listening to the Bitmap News, their spaces, and my wife was in the car, and I was listening, and she was like reading, and she was like, "Wow, they're getting really deep with this." I was like, "Yeah, they go really deep into some spiritual stuff."
Right now, still, in my opinion, is still the most passionate community in our space. So you guys still win that award, even in your most pricing wise down moments. You guys are still the most passionate, so keep rocking. We don't want to change our logo, and we won't change our logo, because we know that you guys are going to keep pushing. But man, what an awesome Thursday show. 332 compared to 3,000 yesterday, but that's because the tap ecosystem show. But I'm happy with today. I appreciate you, Abdul. Of course, every Security Wednesdays, you always educate the audience, and we look forward to having you on again.
I appreciate you guys for having me, and maybe we'll see you guys on the next Tap Tuesday, or even maybe sooner if there's something coming.
Yeah,
not Thursday, right?
Yeah. If you guys, if there's an opportunity, what I do want to say is that the Tap community is trying to engage with the community, engaging with the builders more, just talking updates about what the projects are building on, and some of the builders who really like to build in stealth and build in silence, which is like kind of what the Tap ecosystem right now is doing. It's it's not very loud, right? It's the engineering way of doing things, where they would just market and talk about the product after its release. So it's a main differentiator between other protocols. So what I do want to say is that would love for the opportunity for one of you guys to be there on Thursday, maybe like host it pretty much continuously, and we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just hang out down low until the show's over, and we can kind of discuss our time frame for that. But
Sure.
but thank you so much for joining us, man. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
But absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Remember, tomorrow is a big day. So we got CPI at 8:30. The jobless claims 8:30. Look out for that. If you are trading, be safe. I do not trade on those news days, so be very careful with that. Potentially, if you take a long or something, you might get, they might wick you out. So just be careful with that. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for news, big day for Bitcoin, in my opinion. I think the renewed optimism phase is about to start, and it's going to be very exciting. But guys, check out our partners. Yagobi's going to hit them.
Yeah, check out our partners. We got Ordinal Hive that's building on Merlin chain, and they have a big announcement. I think they're going to be. I'll let them handle that on Twitter, but we'll announce it as soon as they officially announce it. But they're the blur of Bitcoin. They're building on native Bitcoin, but they're going to be building also on Merlin chain, or they are building there. So look out for that. For the Hive passes, I need Superfan, Kai Effect, Coach Cats, Cash Cats to DM me your wallet addresses. So DM me on Twitter at Yagobiverse, okay? And I think that's it. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss one, because I think I might have missed one here. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for now. If there's one I missed, I'll get you guys tomorrow. Other than that, Fluid Tokens, Shizzy announced earlier, they got a big announcement for tomorrow and upcoming next week. We're going to have them on Friday. So look out for Fluid Tokens. Make sure you're using these platforms, guys, earning the points. And then we have VDEX as well. Should be launching on Merlin very, very soon. And then, of course, our guys from Traverse Labs, the #1 security solution for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets.
100%, guys. Please go check out ordinalrevolution.com. Every time you go to the site, it helps our numbers. It really helps us. It can help us anyway. Just go to the site a few times a day. That really helps. But we'll both be in Bitcoin Nashville. If you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, we do have a 21% off coupon for you can pay in Bitcoin as well. So definitely check that out if you're going there. And also, guys, check out our store. If you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, let's rock some Ordinals gear. We have some of the best Ordinals gear in the business. But if it's not from us, rock someone else's. We just want to see as much Ordinals gear in Nashville as possible. Let's show the maxis that we're here to stay and we ain't going nowhere. But guys, amazing show. We are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and I think it's 4 p.m. in Europe. Thank you guys so much for letting us be the platform that you guys come get your daily news. We appreciate you guys.
One more thing, and go onboard somebody into the Bitcoin ecosystem. Go get you a Billy Cat and show them the Bitcoin B. Onboard on Billy Cats. Let's go. All right, peace.
We OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.